Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite plays on Prizepicks for the NBA slate on Tuesday, December the 13th. Now, we do have a smaller slate today. It's only a 5-game slate, so there's not going to be a ton of props to love today. Just got 2 picks that I'm going to give out in this video, taking a first look at the board around 12:45 Eastern Time when I'm making this video. Found 2 picks that I liked. We're going to share these 2 plays. We're going to talk through why I like them. Before we do get started though, guys, as always, if you guys enjoy these Prizepicks videos, please hit that like button down below. I do always appreciate the likes. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, check them out. Sign up with my promo code Noah. You look at the bottom of the screen or click the link in the description. When you do sign up with my promo code, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. And before we talk through our plays for today, I do want to recap our 3 plays that we gave out yesterday. Gave out 3 picks yesterday, hit 2 out of 3. We did hit the over on D'Angelo Russell's points. I think D'Angelo Russell finished with like 23 or 24 points, and we needed 19 from him. He got there even in a blowout. He got pulled kind of early in that game because the Timberwolves got blown out, but he still went over his points prop, luckily. We did also hit the over on Buddy Hield's points prop. Took that over 17.5. I think Buddy Hield barely went over. He had, I think, 19 points. He had a really hot start. I think he had 10 points in the first quarter. Kind of cooled off, but luckily was able to get there late in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, the one play that missed was Kristaps Porzingis over points. He was another guy that I felt really good about yesterday. Really liked that spot for Porzingis. He got off to a great start. He had, I think, 12 points or 10 or 12 points in the first quarter. I think at halftime he was way well over halfway there. Pretty sure at the end of the third quarter he had 20 points. At the end of the third quarter, we needed 25 from him, so we needed 5 points from him in the fourth quarter. And then I'm just scrolling through Twitter and I see Kristaps Porzingis won't return on Monday. So that was super annoying. Porzingis, got injured late in the third quarter and didn't play in the fourth. Came up just short of his points prop. Felt like he probably would have hit if he played in the fourth quarter. But it is what it is, man. Those injuries, you can't control those. They're going to happen. It sucks when it does happen, but it's part of the game. So we'll move on to Tuesday. Luckily, though, hit 2 of our 3 plays yesterday. Hopefully, you guys were able to make a little bit of money. Let's talk through the 2 picks I like for today, though, guys. And again, it's a small slate, only 5 games, so don't go too crazy today. It is Taco Tuesday, so we'll have to see what kind of NBA tacos we get. Right now, though, I think there's a soccer taco up, but there should be some NBA tacos coming out later this afternoon. But I want to talk about a fantasy score prop, and I want to go to the Bucks. So got a pretty appealing game here between the Bucks and the Warriors. I think it's a national TV game. Should be a pretty fun one to watch. I want to talk about Chris Middleton's fantasy score, 29.5 for Middleton. I do like the over here, and if you look at Middleton so far this season, he's only played 5 games this season. He's gone over this in 3 out of 5 games, but let's remember, last game against Houston, he got injured early on in that game. I think he played like 6 minutes, got injured, did not return. So pretty much he's only played 4 games this season. He's gone over this fantasy score line in 3 out of 4 games, and if you look at Middleton's minutes, they obviously he's going to be on a minutes limit because he was out for so long. He's not going to play like 38 minutes today. But if you look at the minutes that he has played in these 4 games, so the first game against the Lakers, they kind of took it easy on Middleton that game. He played 26.5 minutes, though, which wasn't too bad for his first game of the season. Then the next game against the Magic, he played 26 minutes. But his last 2 competitive games that he's played in, so against Sacramento, when he put up 32.2 fantasy points, he played 29 minutes in that game. And then the game against Dallas, where he put up 35.1 fantasy points, he played 31 minutes in that game. So his minutes have been trending up. Given that, he's coming back from an injury, so I'm a little bit worried about this. Like, he did get injured in that Houston game, but, I don't think it's a serious injury. He's probable for today, so he's expected to play. It looks like he suffered an ankle sprain, so it doesn't seem like to be an injury that's, going to cost him any minutes, I don't think. So I'm expecting about 30 to 32 minutes from Middleton today if this game is close. And do want to mention that right now, Jrue Holiday is listed as questionable for the Bucks. And if Jrue Holiday were to get ruled out, that would only increase the projection for Middleton. I'm very confident that if Jrue Holiday gets ruled out later today, this 29.5 fantasy score line for Middleton is going to go up. So I like getting in on it early. Even if Jrue Holiday plays, I think we can still hit this over. But if Jrue Holiday gets ruled out, I feel really good about this over 29.5 fantasy points for Middleton. You look at Middleton so far this season in the games that he's played, he's been averaging around a fantasy point per minute. He's only played, again, 4 games this season if you don't even count last game. He's averaged 0.94 fantasy points per minute. He's had the 3rd highest usage rate on the team this season, so really nothing's changed there. But then if you look at last season, Middleton actually had the 2nd highest usage rate on the team, and he averaged 1.11 fantasy points per minute. I think Middleton's per minute production is only going to get better as he starts to get more minutes under his belt, as he starts to get his feet back under him. Right now, this season, he's only been averaging about 0.94 fantasy points per minute, but throughout his career, he's been like a 1.1 fantasy point per minute player, and I think he's going to start to get back to those levels as he plays more minutes. Obviously, his production would only increase for today if Drew Holiday got ruled out. So really like this line for Middleton. I think this line could definitely be a little bit higher. I think if Drew gets ruled out, it's almost certainly going to get bumped up. And if by some chance Drew plays, I'm totally fine playing this line for Middleton. I think if we get 30, 32 minutes from Middleton tonight, he can still go over 29.5 fantasy points, especially in what should be, a relatively high scoring and competitive game. So like that is our first pick for today. And then our second pick to pair with our Middleton play to make our little 2-pick entry for today. I want to talk about Chris Paul, his points prop, 13.5 points for Chris Paul. I do like the over here, and Chris Paul is not a guy that I typically bet points props on because he's not a guy that really looks to score often. He's definitely a facilitator. He's always going to look for a pass when he can. But this is a matchup where I think Paul can definitely score at will because the Rockets this season have been like the best. They've been basically the best matchup for opposing point guards, just in terms of points allowed, fantasy points allowed, assists allowed too. You look at the DVP's tools on Fantasy Pros. They have, in terms of Houston this season, they have them giving up the third most points to point guards this season, only behind the Jazz and the Timberwolves. You look at where they rank in terms of assists allowed, they've allowed the most assists to point guards. And I was debating taking points or points plus assists for Chris Paul. I kind of like both lines. But the reason I like this prop, for one, not only the matchup, but without Devin Booker, who is once again out for the Suns, without Devin Booker, Chris Paul does get a nice bump in usage. He sees a 3% bump in his usage rate this season. Paul's not like a high usage player overall, but he definitely will have the opportunity to score more without Booker. You look at that game against the Pelicans, that game was without Booker. He put up 24 points that game. The next game, he kind of struggled. He only put up 6 points. But clearly, Paul can have big scoring games when Booker's not out there. And Paul is a good scorer. He just, for some reason, he just elects to not shoot. But he's got a really good mid-range jumper. He's a guy that can still get it done even at his late age. And it's a really good matchup. The Rockets are giving up almost the most points per game to point guards. They're towards the top of the league in terms of points allowed to that position. And we've seen a lot of point guards have big scoring games against the Rockets this year. So obviously we don't need Chris Paul to score a ton. We just need 14 points. I think he can get us 14 points in this matchup. Devin Booker being out, I think, helps Chris Paul in terms of scoring. They're going to need more offense from somebody. Obviously, Mikal Bridges can give them offense. DeAndre Ayton can give them offense. But I think Chris Paul, we could see him be a little bit more aggressive offensively without Booker. And I think he's got a good chance to score 14 points today. So those are our 2 picks that I like for today, guys. Chris Middleton, more than 29.5 fantasy points. Chris Paul, more than 13.5 points. You guys can run these two together just as a 2-pick entry. Or if you want to wait until later this afternoon when Prizepicks posts some of their tacos for Taco Tuesday, you can see what those are. If you want to pair some of those tacos with these 2 picks, you can do that as well. But as always, guys, I do give out more Prizepicks plays over on Patreon. Later this afternoon, once the full board gets posted, I will be providing more plays over there. I'll give a full write-up for each play I do provide on Patreon. Since it is a smaller slate, I probably won't be giving out a ton of plays, probably just maybe 2 or 3 additional plays. But anything I find that I like, I'll share on Patreon. Again, if you want to check that out, it's always linked down below in the description. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. As always, appreciate you guys supporting the Prizepicks content. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And again, if you guys are new to Prizepicks, if you have not checked them out, make sure to sign up with my promo code NOAH. When you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. But best of luck tonight, guys. Thanks as always for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.